what's not real is being taken away from us, but what's real is being truthfully and lovingly deepened, strengthened, and selected.
It almost sounds like an alchemical process of transmutation and purification from lead to gold.
Yes, it is. This is an alchemical operation. It's alchemy plus, and the alchemy part is very, very strong.
And it's so easy to get wrapped up in the metaphor of the senses and not, as you said, not decode the right messages that are coming from the heart and the essence and the soul.
Yes.
How do we, what am I trying to ask you here? How do we remain centered in that space that you're talking about, or move into that space and stay in the eye of the tornado, calm and loving?
You know, just in the last couple of days, more than once in my immediate world, I've been told that that's the position I am, maintaining the very thing you're just asking. How do people do that? I think I can speak from experience now, fully being in that it's really a question of alignment. I'm going to try to describe something that's more than you would usually talk about in this kind of context, but I want to just convey this one thing.
Okay.
There's this alignment going on, this incredible alignment. And when you enter into an alignment, not like a wheel alignment, but like a subtle alignment, what happens is you sift through your soul's record and you cast off who you're not, and then you learn to listen and tune into who you are. So it's kind of like becoming receptive to this one in you who's already there, who I call a future self. And you become receptive to them, and then they can influence you actively rather than talking to you. They don't want to talk, they want to act. Future selves want us to get on with the future, get on with what's possible. And so you just learn to be receptive to that, and that future self in you knows how to kind of bring you closer and closer into your heart center that way. Do you follow?
Yes, I do. I do follow.
It's an alignment.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what will do it, just to be in that alignment. Alignment is both active and receptive. It's both something we're doing and something we're receiving. But it is what's really going on right now.
That makes so much sense. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to my left brain, but it's just sitting there scratching its head, but that's okay because that's what it always does. But I can see visually when I close my eyes and am with you, I can see what you're talking about. And I'm sure that the listeners can too, and do, and are.
Because the part of you that you're invoking that's doing that is the closest on the conscious level to your heart essence.
Now, so okay, that brings up the question about future self and past self. So, how many selves do we have? I mean, how many fragments
we have many, and our past selves are actually very active in us. Again, not so much talking. Everybody wants to talk between this and that. It's not about talking with your past self. It's an active thing. Our past selves are impulsing us all the time, and we have to become sufficiently self-aware to be able to sort of encompass all that they're bringing us and to move beyond it. So there's this peculiar combination in our lives, if we're tuned into it, where we're constantly trying to kind of take ourselves in some implicit way and bring them along with us and strip any influence of theirs that limits us, but unite with their essence.
It sounds a little bit like aligning with the highest part of ourselves from the past.
Yes, because actually you don't connect with previous lifetimes. You connect with the being who died at the end of that lifetime and who's in a chamber where you can connect with them. But you don't connect with the one who was alive, which means basically that it's more of a spiritualized version of that self. Do all of ourselves ever unite as one? Yes, that's what we're working on now. That's the age of Aquaria.
And just so that, I am so confused about the age of Aquarius. I watched Hair in the 60s in Los Angeles, and they were talking about it then. When is the age of Aquarius? And is there a period of time that we can...
Some people say a few hundred years from now. Some people say it already happened 100 years ago. There's many, many different models, and my conviction is it's beginning on a continuous basis between now and 2015.
Okay. Well, there's no reason why we couldn't pull from it and draw upon it right in this moment. If you just stretch your time sense slightly, you can. And what your near future self wants to do, absolutely, is to help you to get over the brain state, the crazed brain state of people back in 2011, and to become self-awake and self-acknowledging. It's very hard for us to be fully self-acknowledging, but that's the leap. Not egoistic, not grandiose, not I'm what it's all about. Right.
But we just have to acknowledge that we are who we are and that we're not fooling ourselves.
Yes. There seems to be an enormous amount of maybe it's a training that we've taken on as being, I'm not good enough, I'm nothing, I'm insecurities and so on and so forth, and we just never seem to get beyond this idea of our ultimate worthlessness, and that seems to be such a big obstacle for so many people, myself included.
Yeah, that's the great shadow work, is to take the one in you who feels kind of an invalid, who feels at the mercy of, who feels, overwhelmed by this, and to work with that part of yourself. What I had to learn how to do, because I went through many, many extreme experiences way back, not through hard drugs or anything totally destructive, just through the path I was on. I just found that I had to sort of endlessly walk myself through this world and have an affirmative point of view and give myself a chance. I feel like I'm the one who's steering me. I am the one who is steering me through. And the I that's steering me through loves and appreciates the one I'm steering and doesn't view them as falling short of anything.
Yeah. Well, I've often thought that if we could give ourselves even a tenth of the love that we shower upon our four-legged friends, we would be overwhelmed by the love we have for ourselves.
That's beautiful, yes. We do need to be in a kind of a free connection with ourselves where we are able to overcome all versions of going against self.
Are some of our future selves from other, say, planetary, galactic locales
Yes.
Federation?
Yes. Some of our future selves are like that, and those are, it's more like, see, it depends how honest you want to be in a given encounter. What it's like to encounter someone who has died and who still lives on. What is that like? What is it like to encounter, these forces of many worlds that are interpenetrating this world, call them what you will. What is it like to actually make that connection? And it's just as difficult in its own way as really getting the connection with those who've died in other such realms, because you have this kind of consciousness drift, or I don't know what to call it, a curve that you have to go through. So if I really connect with a cosmic future self from beyond this existence, I have to raise my frequency to even contact them. But I can. That's the strange part about all this. I can raise my frequency and contact them, and then I realize that, yes, we're being pulled through a very big planetary shift, and it involves that what we thought of as human is going away, but the essence of who we really are here is being intensified.
I have so many questions that are evoked by what you just said. You're a way shower in so many ways in helping us to bridge that the future self that is trying to get in touch with the essence of each one of us. I think what the question has to do with raising our frequency. How do we do that? In other words, you've had kind of a magical, mystical tour, up close and personal, like, you one person sitting in the audience, and it would have been you. For the rest of us yokels out here in the country, we may not be so fortunate. We have to actually work at raising our frequency. Do you have any words of wisdom for us dumb clucks out here?
Raising your frequency means that okay, I was starting to mention it before and I got a little distracted. What happens is you find yourself in a state of mind that is repetitive and circular, karmic. And so you track with that part of you that's doing that, that's circling through a karmic loop. And what you do is you ask to be shown, as you said, not decode the right messages that are coming from the heart and the essence and the soul. Yes.
How do we?
It's alchemy plus, and the alchemy part is very, very strong.
And it's so easy to get wrapped up in the metaphor of the senses and not, what am I trying to ask you here? How do we remain centered in that space that you're talking about, or move into that space and stay in the eye of the... It almost sounds like an alchemical process of transmutation and purification from lead to gold.
Yes. It is. This is an alchemical operation. What's not real is being taken away from us, but what's real is being truthfully and lovingly